Jeez. I hate people.
I hate people. This is why they're the worst. Are you ready for it?
Hey, fam.
I was about to say, hey, friends. Hey, Rach.
Hey, Rob. This is People Are the Worst. We are identical twins who love true crime, hate people. I'm Rachel. I'll be telling my story today.
I'm Rebecca. I'll be listening intently.
Oh, it's good. We have not talked in like weeks. Rebecca's been in Europe, and I tell you, the time difference was detrimental to our relationship.
It really is. We haven't spoken in years.
I mean,
no, the
years.
last 2 weeks, me, my husband, and my 15-month-old went to Amsterdam, and then Bruges, and then London, and then Dublin, and it was so much fun. But I'm feeling like I'm coming down with something, so I'm going to take NyQuil in the middle of your story.
Oh, that is horribly rude.
I'm going to doze right off. But it was so fun. Worth it. Our kid's first flight was 8.5 hours. Jeez. But he was a trooper.
On the way there, he was?
Yeah, he was a trooper on the way there. On the way back was a little tough. About half the flight, he was screaming. And it was one of those, like, me and Barrett's being like, well, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, whisper arguing. I don't know what the fuck to do. Maybe he's hungry. I don't know. Just walk him around. You walk him around.
Oh, God. I bet everyone around you was so way more uncomfortable with that than the screaming child.
We're like, we're partners. And then, come on. And then we kept remembering that we're never going to see these people again. So who cares? But no, so it was a great trip. Worth every cry. But I am dreading work tomorrow. I've actually almost like cried.
Oh my God. I get it. I'm dreading work tomorrow, and I have not coming off of a big 2-week stint. I just like have anxiety for some reason. I think this week's going to suck.
Yeah, it will suck. And I did look at my emails, and it was like in counting, it was like 430. And I was like, okay, that's not that bad. And kept climbing until 908. And then I got a notice that my mail inbox was full, and one of the executives at my company sent a request to IT to expand my megabytes. And I was like, oh my God, what's it going to be?
My God.
So I'm literally going to cry tomorrow. But I did have a decision to make on whether to start catching up on emails, which I did because damn my work ethic. But I really wanted to work on my bonus episode. So I did that instead.
I mean, you got to
prioritize.
Priorities, yeah.
I know. I just got to keep saying to myself, like, corporate's not going to be forever. Corporate's not going to be forever. So I went with the more important thing to me, and it was so fun. Worth it.
Totally worth it.
But that does remind me. Patreon. Y'all join Patreon, please. Come on. I'm going to go over the tiers a little bit. Tier 1 is $1 a month. That's $12 a year. $5 a month. Tier 2 is $5 a month, which is $60 a year. You get a notebook. You get to support a dream. We'll shout you out, which will be so meaningful when we're wildly successful.
And you get a bonus episode.
Oh yeah, you do get a bonus episode. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the best part. And we already have one published.
Right. And then $8 a month, which is $96 a year. So for less than $100, you get everything I've already said, plus a soft T-shirt that with People Are the Worst on it, and we'll shout you out on your own terms. So like, have a charity that you want to promote? Let us know. Want us to plug your small business? We would love to help increase your brand awareness. We know the struggles of startup life more than anyone.
For real.
Have a friend you want to embarrass? We would love to blow his or her spot up. Give us the hot goss. We'll do it.
Oh my God, that would be a good one.
Wouldn't it be funny?
And actually, speaking of which, then, we do have some shout outs to give.
Oh, yeah.
We have patrons since we launched it. So, shout out Laura Catherine, Bunny, we know you. Emily. Well, I'm not going to do, I won't do last names. So, Emily K, Lauren, Lois, Christina, Sarah, and Grace.
Thanks, y'all.
Are the best. Wait, and Lacey, where's Lacey? She commented. And Lacey, y'all, thank y'all so much. Y'all are early adopters to our Patreon, and y'all are just going to send me into a tailspin of emotions, you know?
Totally. Y'all are going to. Actually, everyone listening is the best because, we are almost at 10,000 downloads, which is like, oh my God, y'all, please keep telling people, tell all your friends, threaten them if you have to. Don't underestimate the use of force. Come on.
Oh my God, totally.
Please keep that word of mouth going. 10,000 downloads. It's amazing.
I know, it's fun.
I know. It makes me feel real promising. Like it's,
Yeah. I did laugh at that. Our most recent review is a good one. I love the review. And it says, listen at 1.25 speed, which I'm like, that's because of me. Because sometimes when I'm listening, I'm like, get it out. That's all Rachel. So apologies. I'll try to speed it up. Once I was watching, it did remind me though, once I was early in my listening to podcast days, I was listening to Last Podcast on the Left. And I don't know how I accidentally put it on 2 times the speed. And I was losing my mind. I didn't realize I did it. I was like, did they do cocaine before this episode? I'm going to
say that.
Kill them. It was so irritating. And then I looked down. I was like, oh, it's on 2 times the speed.
I forgot that you can speed it up like 1.5 or 2 times. That seems so unnecessary. I feel like you don't talk slow. Maybe it's me. I have no idea. So,
maybe it's
whatever.
you.
Who knows? Who cares?
But I loved that suggestion because I did forget you could do that. But sometimes I do listen. I'm like, to today, Junior.
Oh, yeah. I do that too. But I stumble over my words a lot. I need to take a speech class or something or some shit. But, I'm not gonna. So
figure that one out.
But if you don't join our Patreon, we have a website now where you can buy all this stuff. And we do have a mock-up of a coffee mug with People Are the Worst on it, which I'm like, should we get that? Would y'all like that more than?
I would like that.
Yeah.
I think we should. The website is peoplearetheworstpod.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's merch, the pod, general stuff, small merch. We're not like investing all of our funds into merch yet.
Yeah.
Yet. Depends.
Yeah. What else did you have?
Are you watching the Dahmer series?
We did watch episode 1, but I don't know if it was because I was eating. It kind of just started grossing me out. Now that I've gotten 1 under my belt, I do want to finish it because I think it's just going to be the trial. Because, spoiler alert, but it starts off with his last almost victim. So it's not going to be 10 episodes of him eating people.
Well, I'm boycotting it.
Why?
Because the victims' families have come out saying it's re-traumatizing. They really hate that no one asked them. Netflix didn't come to them at all. Rita Isbell's sister was one of his victims, and she has a series of tweets, or maybe I read an article about her thoughts on it, and she is really upset about it. Oh. No one asked them. No one reached out. It's wildly popular. So they're making a ton of money off of it. She's like, no, victims aren't getting any of that. Victims' families aren't getting any of that. And it's very realistic. She said when she saw there's a clip going around that's viral of 1991 during the trial and the actual series. And she was like, I thought it was me. It's same clothes, her exact victim impact statement. She was like, it's just really, it's bringing up all this stuff again.
Wait, you didn't tell me this offline on purpose. You make me look like a bitch. Now I'm going to boycott too, obviously. But sad.
Well, that's known. I've read more about that. That has been out on Twitter. That's been everywhere. More so
I've been traveling. I didn't know. I'm not in the know right now, but.
Oh. Well, I just told you today that I'm boycotting, and I guess you didn't ask why. Figured I'd tell you here. Yeah. No, they are not happy about it at all, and it's sad.
That is sad. His voice that's the first thing I said. I was like, whoa, he nailed his voice.
Ew.
It's disgusting. But
yeah, so.
Okay. Well, now.
I'm not into it. And even without that, even if I do, if with the profits that show's probably getting, I think the victim's family should get a piece of
little
it,
retribution.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But even without that, it's like a Ted Bundy series. I'm like, we know everything there is to know about Don. What am I going to learn by watching this? I don't want to.
Oh, I know. But Barrett was willing to watch it, and he does not know anything about it. So I was like, I would be interested to see your reaction. But now I'm not going to because we're going to boycott it.
There you go.
That's terrible. Yeah.
I know. So that's why.
Did you see that Halloween has yet another movie coming out? Halloween Ends, the movie?
Yes. I hope it doesn't really end.
It doesn't. There's going to be a sequel next year.
God,
you know there is. If you don't know already, we are obsessed with the Halloween franchise. I cannot wait for the sequel of Halloween Ends because they say it's going to be the last, but like they said H2O is going to be the last. He got decapitated.
She decapitated him and they still made like 4 more. They were just like, we're just going to say it was the wrong guy.
I know.
Like, it's so good.
I know. And I think Mom said she saw the first Halloween in theaters. And we've seen a new Halloween in theaters, and I want my children to see a new Halloween in theaters, you know?
I promise you they will still be going.
I watched Halloween 4 today.
Me too. And it was on. I was so happy.
I know. You know, it's an 80s movies, and so they're very lax about what's wrong and right. And I crack up when the chief of police
oh God,
hands the gun to a teenager and says, go in the attic and use this if needed. And the teenager goes, maybe if something's going on, I should call my parents. He's like, just get up there.
It's what's his name from Dazed and Confused?
Yeah. Oh my God. It cracks me up every time. And then his daughter's wearing a t-shirt that says cops do it by the books. I'm like, the fuck they do? They hand guns to children and tell them to go to the scariest room in the house and wait for his serial killer.
And when he
funny.
It's so good. I watched, it was on today and then followed by Halloween 5 and I was cracking up in Halloween 5. I've seen it 400 times, but I don't know why. I was like, what the hell is happening? When Tina and the blonde girl are in the field, like talking about how the blonde girl is going to lose her virginity, Michael Myers is just standing in the tree directly behind him with the biggest knife I've ever seen. Like, like this is not inconspicuous.
I know. It's like in Halloween 6 when they end it with him in the jail cell and he still has his mask on and everything. Like, oh, they let you keep that on, did they? That's nice.
Y'all, best movie franchise there is.
Hands down, challenge it. I dare you.
Oh my God. Everyone go have a Halloween marathon right now.
They're hilarious.
Oh, they're so good.
Okay. That's all I had.
I think that's it. That's probably going to be our longest intro because we have not talked. And I sent Rebecca the meme of Rose and Titanic saying, it's been 84 years.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Because for real. All right. So I guess we can start. Again, this is Rachel. I am telling the story of Ellen Halbert.
Okay. I don't know if I know this one. Let's hear
it. I'd be shocked if we'd never talked about this before because I think about it kind of a lot.
Oh.
Actually.
Okay, well, can't wait.
All right, my sources are F3 Magazine, Larry King Live. Mm-hmm. I read a transcript from Larry King Live.
Nice.
Blurredbylines.com and the main source, I Survive.
Hell yeah. Love a survival.
Here we go. I really do think about this far more than I would like. All right. It was a nice morning in September 1986 in Austin, Texas. Ellen Halbert's husband went to play golf and her son went to school. So she had a slow morning, reading the newspaper, drinking coffee, I'm sure relishing in an empty house like I would.
Holy shit. All right. I know it.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Oh my God. I thought about doing this months ago and then I was like, it's too gruesome. I'm scared. Oh.
Well, I'm too squeamish to get there.
Yep. I know exactly what. Yep. Okay. Go on. Sorry. I know it. She's a badass. Didn't know her name at first. Let's go.
Let's go. So she's having a slow morning. No one's home. So she's like, yes, I can drink my coffee with some F and peace, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. But she does have a busy day ahead of her. So she goes upstairs to take a shower and get ready for her day. When she gets out of the shower, there is a man in the corner of her bathroom in a full ninja suit. Mm-hmm. The only part of him she could see is the skin around his eyes. I'm ill.
Nightmares. That is what nightmares are made of.
In his right hand, he's holding what she described as the biggest knife she's ever seen. It was actually a meat cleaver.
Oh,
those like thick ass knives.
I don't remember the meat cleaver. That's disgusting and petrifying.
Yeah. Obviously, being in absolute shock, you know what she did?
No.
Laughed at him.
Oh, that's right.
She thought someone was playing a joke on her.
Oh, poor thing.
She very quickly realized, unfortunately, that was not the case. The man starts screaming at her to get on the floor and starts trying to push her down. A struggle ensues, and it takes them out of the bathroom into her bedroom. And he's still trying to get her on the ground, but she's fighting like hell. He backhands her. She falls to the ground. She gets right back up. He backhands her again. Same thing. She falls, gets right back up. In the interview, she said there was no way she was staying on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So she sits on the edge of her bed, pulls her legs up to her chest. She doesn't really know why, but she's naked. Like, she's only in a towel. She's naked. So she's just like, I think, trying to cover as much as she can.
Yeah, you're already so vulnerable naked, and now you're being beaten by a stranger. Ugh.
Right. He comes over, drags his knife along her feet, and says, "My knives are a lot sharper than your knives." He binds Ellen's hands and feet with tape, tells her to close her eyes, and ties his mask around her face so she can't see anything. And then he tells her, quote, "It's a shame you can't see me. I'm half white, half black, and very good looking."
Which is probably such bullshit. He's probably trying to throw her off the... Or is he? I've never Googled him, I don't think.
Well, you will after this.
Yeah.
No, I think he's telling the truth, I think. But she's just like, what? He then paces back and forth, asking her how much money they have in the bank, how much money she could get from work. So she tells him she'll drive him to the bank, write him a check. He can have every dime.
Mm-hmm.
In response, he says, "You're going to have a very bad accident." What? Like, it's just like, oh my God, I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, all of this is such a mind fuck.
Yeah. So then he keeps chatting. He tells her that he's a drifter. He's been drifting around Austin for about 2 months. He also said that he knew that her husband was out playing golf and that her son was at school and neither would be back for a while. How did he know that? Because he had been living in their attic for 2 days. He even went on to prove it by telling her other things that happened around the house over the past 2 days. And he was right.
It's so creepy. Do we know why he chose their house? That is what I don't know.
No.
My God. Okay. How unsatisfying. But okay.
I know, it's really unsatisfying. It's actually kind of shocking how there's not a lot on this case at all. Or about him, really. I dug about him. Okay, so anyway. She keeps begging him to leave. Obviously, he won't. He then told her what he had planned. This is scary. He said he was going to rape her. Although in the I Survived, she said he did not use those words. So I'm sure it was a lot more vulgar.
Oh, God.
And he said it didn't matter what he wanted to do to her because he was never going to get caught. So he cuts the tape off her ankles, demands she gets back on the bed. After he rapes her, he tells her how much he enjoyed it.
Ew.
Fucker.
Monster.
Then he tapes her legs back together and goes and takes a shower. At this point, he has been there for an hour. Can you imagine? Like, it probably felt like he was there all day. Yeah. After an hour, that's already a long time. But in that situation, I would imagine even 10 minutes would have felt like an hour.
Oh, 100%. I'd be like, just go ahead and kill me, please. The anticipation is just, this is too much.
Yeah. So he's in the shower. She was too scared to try to run. Her legs and hands are bound. So she'd have to hop down the stairs. She was just scared that he would get out of the shower before she made it and then kill her.
Right.
So after the shower, he puts the ninja suit back on, shows her a check that he had written for $600 and told her to sign it and make it out to him. Troy Eugene Wigley.
I'm an idiot. But no problem. I would be like, no problem. Signature.
Oh, yeah. So obviously she does it. But I thought that too. I was like, you're an idiot. But then I'm putting myself in her position. That would be the scariest part of the whole. If he's willing to say his name, I'd be like, you're definitely going to kill me.
Right.
So that I was like, no, that actually would be really scary.
Oh, yeah.
So She does it, of course. He then tied her hands back, told her to go in the bathroom and get in the fetal position. When she did, she said she felt a huge blow to the right side of her head. He had hit her with a hammer. This is the part I'm not going into details about. I'm squeamish, and it's really bad.
Squeamish about heads. Say
about
that.
Yeah.
About head injuries and your scalp. I'll say it. Rach does not do that word. She won't do that word.
Hate that word.
She will not say the S word.
Oh God, I hate that word so much. Yeah. So
that's why I'm so shocked you're doing this. Okay. This story. That's why, because I was like, ooh, is this too gruesome? Because I could not stand that part. Sorry. Yeah. This is so annoying for the listeners. Just go on.
Look it up. If you're not squeamish in that way, look it up. It's really terrible and you're disgusting if you look. I'm just kidding.
And what the hell's wrong with you if you look that up?
What's wrong with you? I'll just say he stabs her violently over and over with his meat cleaver, her neck, chest, head. It's terrible. I wish I could unknow the details that I know, but here we are.
Me too.
Ellen was going in and out of consciousness and she realized she couldn't hear him anymore. So she turned, looked in her bedroom, and he's standing there. He's not in a ninja outfit. And when he looks back at her, he notices she's looking at him. He screams at her to put her head back down and then comes in and hits her again with the hammer in the head.
Fuck
so she was like, I'm not moving again. She did not move after that.
Right.
Then he took off her wedding rings and walked out. And she said, it's just, I can't imagine what's going through her poor head.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't get him off of her. And she was like, he's going to cut all my fingers off. She was like, this is going to be it. This is going to hurt. But she said, as soon as she thought it, they slid off.
Fuck.
So, I know.
At that point, your body's probably running on so much adrenaline, but I can't feel anything anymore. I hope that's what happens again. I think we've talked about this in a previous episode, but I hope that's what happens.
Yeah. So he takes her wedding rings, walks out. Ellen said she could tell she was losing a lot of blood and started getting really cold.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to go try to get help, but she had no idea where he was. He could still be in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
But she went for it.
Good for her.
She crawled out of her bedroom and threw herself down the stairs to get to her phone. She reaches the phone and calls her parents.
Oh, that would be such a sad and scary reaction from them. Hold on 1 second. NyQuil break.
So rude. Oh my God. Is that...
Are you supposed to take 2 of the caps?
I think just 1.
I think it says 4.
You're psycho.
I'm just kidding. But I am going to take another.
Oh my God.
I got to solidify that good sleep and I can't get sick this week. I got to catch up on work. Anywho.
All right. I'm thinking maybe it's the only phone number she can think of.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, obviously she's in a terrible headspace, so I really don't have judgment. Her parents call 911.
Yeah.
The next thing Ellen remembers is her father screaming when he walked in with the EMTs. Oh, God, that sight. She also remembers hearing the EMTs talking in the ambulance about how they didn't think she'd make it. And she thought to herself, yes, I am. This man isn't going to take my life.
Ellen, you're a badass insane. Beyond belief.
I know. So she's rushed into emergency surgery. She had to get over 600 stitches. Oh, God. She didn't even know how many times she was stabbed or beaten with a hammer, but the plastic surgeon said she had 8 to 10 places of impact on her head. So she was hit at least that many times with a hammer and survived.
Jesus.
18-year-old Troy Wigley was arrested at the bank trying to cash the check he forced her to write.
He was only 18?
18 years old. Can you believe that?
Holy shit.
What in God's name went wrong with your life?
Yeah, where are your parents and what happened?
That's what I was trying to look up about him. There's really not much about him or his background other than he was a drifter.
Who hurt you, Troy?
For real. So Ellen testifies against Troy in court And even though a lot of victims opt not to do that because they don't want to face, it's just traumatic. They don't want to face their offender again. She found it very empowering.
Oh, I bet.
Which I think is also pretty badass.
That is badass. Mainly probably because he tried so hard to kill her. And it was just like,
yeah.
I bet as like, if it was like a rapist who didn't try to murder you, that would be traumatizing to see him. Like, it's just reliving it, but there's some sort of vindication, like
yeah.
Ha, got you. I win this fight, fucker.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool.
And I bet I would love to be the cop to be like, hey, Troy, pal, she survived. And she's going to testify against you. You're screwed.
With his talk when he was at her house with how he'll never get caught. I'm like, sorry, what was your plan?
Yeah.
So you left her for dead, but then you like went to the bank to cash a check. What do you think was going to happen? The husband was going to come home, find her. They're going to look at bank accounts, be like, who the hell's this? Her husband, I have no idea.
He's a kid. Look at the bank
records, like, oh, he cashed this right after the attack. This must be like, I'm like, sorry, what was the plan? I don't understand.
I wish we knew that.
Yeah, we don't. So anyway, she survives, testifies, empowering, badass.
What a badass.
He was convicted of aggravated robbery and sentenced to life in prison. They could not charge him with rape because she said she was too sick to take a rape test, like when she got to the hospital. But it was talked about during the trial. So, like, I think the jury knew.
Wait, aggravated assault and not attempted murder?
That's exactly what I was about to start. No, aggravated robbery, not attempted murder. I was wondering that exact same thing. But upon further review, aggravated robbery is defined as a person commits theft with intent to obtain or maintain control of property and 1, causes serious bodily injury to another, 2, uses or exhibits a deadly weapon, 3, or causes bodily injury to another person or threatens or places another person in fear of imminent bodily injury or death if the other person is either 65 years old or older or disabled.
But she wasn't 65.
She's not, but he did the first 2. Causes serious bodily injury.
I know.
Shall I leave that third one out?
No, I'm just baffled by that. So, but it wasn't just serious bodily injury. He was attempting to kill her.
Yeah, no.
Weird.
I mean,
but he got life in prison, whatever.
Right. I think they decided the intent was robbery and not necessarily murder, but still.
But I would think
he got life in prison.
When she says, I will give you everything I have, and he still beats her and rapes her. But I guess if he can't prove rape back then. If she didn't take a rape test, fine, take that out of the equation. If she said, I will give you everything and signs the check and you are still beating her, that is, I would think aggravated robbery goes out the window and it's now attempted murder. But again, he got life in prison, so.
Right. Ellen made a full recovery after many surgeries and several years of stress-related illnesses, obviously. She said she swears she cried for a year straight.
Oh, sweet angel.
Breaks my heart. But she really wanted to come out stronger than she was before, so she sought counseling and started working with other victims. In 1991, the governor appointed her as the first victim to serve on the Texas Board of Criminal Justice, which oversees the adult criminal justice system in Texas. She won numerous awards for her work. She had a prison unit named after her, and ultimately she became the director of the Victim Witness Division of the DA's office in Austin.
Wow.
She did a lot of good work. So through her victim advocacy, she worked with a program called Bridges of Life, where survivors of violent crimes go to prisons to meet with offenders to tell their stories and talk about how these crimes affected them, everyone in their life. She wanted to meet with Troy, but he wouldn't do it because he said he was not guilty. Fuck off. Her wedding rings were in his pocket, and also the check he was trying to cash.
You are outside your damn mind, Troy.
Stupid.
You're an idiot. He might be on one of my least favorite lists of stories. He's just a moron.
I know. Unfortunately, her marriage fell apart not long after the attack. she said her husband just did not handle it well at all.
I was literally going to ask. I knew.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad?
That is really sad.
Troy is still in prison in Texas today. Oh. He's still alive. He's filed for appeals a couple of times, but gets denied because Texas agrees he's a piece of shit who needs to rot in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Ellen is now retired and thriving. In the I Survived episode, they ask, why do you think you survived? And she said it was because she simply wasn't ready to go.
There you go. And
she was like, nah, this dude isn't going to kill me.
Yeah. Don't underestimate my will to live.
Oh. Yeah. She really is a badass. So that's the scary story of Ellen Halbert. I think about it almost every time I get out of the shower.
I've thought about that in the shower a few times because the thought of getting out and seeing a ninja in the corner really freaks me out. But that's why I always take my cell phone. I know she couldn't do this in the 80s, but I always take my cell phone in the bathroom. And if I forget it, I always think about what I would do if someone were trying to break in or, home invade us. And I would lock the door and pretend I was on the phone with the cops. And make, yes, 911, he's right there. Yes, he's at, I always think about my escape.
Interesting. But what if he was like Troy and had a weapon? That wasn't going to.
Oh, no, I always lock the door when I'm showering.
Okay.
And if my cell phone's not actually in there, I left it. I always am like, okay, well, if something happens, I'm just going to pretend I'm on the phone.
I know, but what if that infuriated the person and they busted the door down?
Oh, I'm already hopping out the window.
Oh, I don't have a window in my bathroom.
Oh, well, I mean, pretending you're on the phone with the cops isn't going to hurt. If he's trying to bust in anyway, he's trying to kill you regardless.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So
another thing I do sometimes, maybe this can help someone.
Sure.
Especially if Payne's out of town, I'll sleep. I mean, aside from having 700 golf clubs and at home that I could kill someone with, I bring my keys to my room because if someone breaks in, you're supposed to set your car alarm off.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not going to be sticking around with all that noise happening.
No, right. Yeah, that's a good call.
So just in case someone breaks in, I'm going to press the shit out of the alarm and then I'm going to take a driver to the side of someone's head.
Right. Or get a dog. Oh, or get a birdie. My birdie just came in.
Oh, it did?
Mm-hmm. And I'm supposed to go outside and test it. And I should. I forgot to do that today, but it came in today. And a birdie, guys, is it was created by two women. I don't know why. It doesn't say on their website why they created it, but it's a mini little thing you can put on your keychain. And if you pull it, it sets off a very loud sound and kind of like a strobe light. So it's kind of like a personal alarm system. Yeah. And it's very loud, but they do recommend you do it first so you're comfortable doing it a second time if ever need be. So my birdie just came in.
I need to get one.
Yeah, you do. Everyone needs to. Because I have mace, but I'm like, it's not on my keychain. The safety's a little too easy. It's easy to switch. I'm like, I'm not doing that. It's in my car, but
you're scared you're going to accidentally.
I'm scared I'm going to accidentally do it to myself. And I haven't tested it. I would be a little reluctant to. You've tested it, mace? Your mace?
Mm-hmm.
Did it come back at you? That's what they always say.
No. Hell no. I mean, I didn't do it into the wind. No, it didn't come back at me. Good God. It feels very light, though, so I'm always scared it's empty. That's my fear. So I'm like, I better stop testing this. So I'm like, what if I needed it and nothing came out because I tested it too many times? It feels very empty. So,
that's
Well, that is Ellen Halbert. She's truly a badass.
I know, I can't say it enough, but she is a badass.
Thanks for listening, y'all. Please join our Patreon. It is patreon.com, / People Are the Worst. You just search for People Are the Worst podcast.
Yeah.
And you'll see us.
And you can listen to the bonus episodes on wherever you get your podcasts, right? You don't have to go to the website.
Yeah. I did want to throw that in. I forgot. So some people, I thought this too. I thought you had to listen to bonus episodes within Patreon app. No, you can share it. Like if you tap on your RSS link, it says share to whatever podcast app you want.
Yeah.
So you have it in, you're like, I listen to it in Apple.
Right.
So it syncs up directly with wherever you listen to your podcast. So it's great.
And it's fun. And, it'll just, I don't know what to say.
Just done. Just keep that.
Just join. I don't know.
Just do it.
And continue telling people, please.
Y'all, it's so good.
That's so good. We're almost at 10,000 downloads. We can do it.
We're all in this together. And it's a clap. I've never seen High School Musical, but I know that that's in it.
I know. All right. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Have a great
week. And y'all are the best. People are the worst. Trust no one.
For real. Bye.